So my name's Katie. I'm a medical herbalist and soap maker and owner of a company called Little Bird Soaps. I've made for you a pack which you should all maybe have by now, and it's to learn how to make foot fizzies. So they are basically a bit like a bath bomb that you'd put in a bowl of water and you'd put your feet in. If that's too much, or you haven't got a bowl to put your feet in, you could always make them to put your hands in. So they are great. It's a great kind of way of giving yourself a little self-care treat or making them as presents for other people. And the beauty of these is that not only are you going to learn how to make a foot fizzy, which is for a foot bath, which is so easy for children, you can do it for, you can do it for elderly people, or just if you've got maybe tired feet, hot feet, sore feet. There's lots of different reasons why you would have a little foot bath. If people have got fevers or temperatures, you can do cooling foot baths, or maybe mustard foot baths, or if you've got any fungal infections, you might want to make a really strong thyme tea. I think you got given some herbs, and thyme tea would be antimicrobial, so that's a great one. So you would boil up a really strong tea and then tip some of that into the water for the foot bath. And you could also drink that if you've got a sore throat. And then you've got a rosemary, which again is if you've got cold feet and you want to improve your circulation, you could make a strong tea with the rosemary, pour it into the bowl where you're having your foot bath, and drink that again for sore throats or any sort of respiratory issues, and they're actually really nice together as a tea. So back to the foot fizzies. In these bags you're going to have the instructions, and you're going to have some citric acid, a bag of citric acid, a bag of bicarbonate of soda, which I've added some bath bomb colour in, and what else? A little bag with some herbs in. And you're going to have a little water spray, hence called mini mate because everything was tiny. A little water spray and a little lavender essential oil. So those are the things that come in your bag, but you'll need to have some other things prepared. So what you'll need is a tablespoon. These scoops work really well, but you know, a tablespoon's fine. A teaspoon or a little measuring spoon. This is a quarter of a teaspoon, and then this is the equivalent of a teaspoon. So this is for measuring, and then this is for mixing. And then you'll need a bowl, and oh, actually this comes in the bag as well. And I've got here some apricot oil, but if you want to use olive oil or almond oil, or well, any seed oil really, apart from don't use vegetable oil, but sunflower oil's fine. Yeah, so if you want that, that's an optional extra. Other optional extras you could add would be milk powder, because milk helps to soften your skin, so if you've got really dry, hard feet, that might be a nice thing to add. Or oats if you've got dry feet, itchy feet, or you could add some mustard powder, as I said. And obviously all your herbal teas if you wanted to. Just actually a quick note on making a herbal tea. So these herbs here, the thyme and the rosemary, have got lots of volatile, so essential oils, which is part of their medicine. So when you make a tea with them, it's always good to cover the tea when it's infusing so that they don't escape. So that's just a little tip. Yeah, so that's always important when you're making herbal teas that have got strong volatile oils. You can also just pick these and use them straight, so it's so easy to just like walk around your garden and pick bits and bobs. You know, there's a mint plant over there, so I might pick some mint to make a tea. While I've got my feet in it, I've also been drinking it as well. And the rosemary is really helpful for just to improve your circulation, and it's often used herbally for people when they want to improve circulation to their brain, so hence to improve their memory. Sage is the same. Rosemary is very antioxidant as well, which is wonderful. And thyme, obviously, in lots of cough remedies, and it supports your immune system, so really good coming up to autumn, winter. So, shall we get cracking? So, what we're going to do, first of all, there's enough actually to make 2 of these. So, this one is bicarbonate of soda. Oh, I'm going to rip it open. These bags are biodegradable, so you can just pop them. They break down naturally. And I'm going to get my tablespoon, the bigger one, and I'm going to go 1, 2. And I've noticed there's some big sort of white lumps in here. So what I want to do is mix it, and all your instructions are on your brown paper. Mix it like this to get rid of all the, so I'm just pressing it down on the bottom. That's it, getting it as smooth as I can, getting rid of the lumps. And then I'm going to get the citric acid. Now, citric acid, citrus is in the word. So if you've got cuts on your hands, it could be a bit stingy. And don't get it in your eyes, so you'd have to rinse it out. It would be like squirting a bit of lemon in your eye by accident. This is used to make elderflower cordial and sweet and sour sweets, things like that. And this is what makes your foot fizz. So 2 tablespoons of the bicarbonate soda and 1 of the citric acid. In it goes. Looks like sugar. Then I'm going to get my stirrer. I'm going to mix it all in. Really try and get it all mixed together. I'm not sure if I've already said it, but this is a really great recipe, not only for making bath bombs as well if you wanted to make bigger ones, but also for, I don't know if you've seen them in any of those kind of, eco shops. You can get things that you pop in your toilet to clean your toilet and make your toilet smell better. Or you can use this same recipe to do that, but you would maybe add like eucalyptus essential oil or pine or thyme or something like that. So it's a really flexible recipe, this is. If I had some oats now, or I had some milk powder, or I had some cocoa butter that I'd grated or whatever, I'd get a spoonful of each of those and add it. So that's your optional extras. So a teaspoonful of those optional extras. What I might do, this is totally up to you, but I've got some rose petals and lavender. I was just going to tip this in the bath water when I have a foot bath, but you can add them now. Mix it around. Now I'm going to add my optional optional oil. Tip that in. I might just do 2 of those actually. Okay, so all the dry things, now we're starting to add the wet things. This little spray bottle, just take it off like that. I've got some water in here, so I'll just fill it up there. You see it's full? Pop the lid on. Oh, this is really fun to do with kids as well if you've got any little ones around. Oh. Okay, I think that's on. That might be a bit tricky getting that lid on. Okay, so you never want to pour water in, you just want to spray it in. But before I do that, I'm just going to mix in this oil a bit more. Okay, mixing all that in. The key is to get it into to really mix it all in. Okay, so you can see I'm mixing it all in. Sometimes it's a bit easier to use a bigger spoon to kind of push it along the bottom and crush. When you do it with kids, you can say things like round and crush. And you'll start to notice the texture starts to get a bit stickier, a bit like really damp sand. So let's add some lavender essential oil. If you're allergic to lavender, then don't use this, obviously. You can use whatever you want, essential oil wise. I'm going to do 20 drops. How many drops am I going to do? 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lavender is one of those oils that you can use directly on the skin. Most essential oils you can't. So if you do get a bit more than 12, don't worry about it. That's why I put that one in. And lavender is often used for burns, treating burns. Okay, great. So now I'm going to get my little spray bottle, and I'm going to do, how many sprays? 6 to 10. So let's start off with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to see, can you see it sort of starting to fizz? So it's the water that sticks it together. So you really need to mix that in. Okay, round and I don't probably need more than 6 because I put the oil in. If I hadn't put the oil in, I would have needed a few more because the oil helped dampen it. Now, you don't have to do this, you can think of another way of doing it, but I like to just squeeze it like that. So because it's made a little pyramid, I know that that's wet enough. So what I'm going to then do is, and the reason I chose to do this as well, as apart from the fact that it's such a useful little recipe, is that it's something lovely to do with younger ones, and makes nice presents for people. It's pretty safe, but most importantly, a lot of these ingredients you can easily find. And the point about the mould is, you could use loads of different things to mould it, but the mould has to be quite firm. So when you press down, you wouldn't want a floppy silicone one because there's nothing to hold, to press it down against. And see how I've pressed that down. So I might be sipping my rosemary and sage and thyme tea while I was making this. I've just made a thyme syrup for winter as well. Thyme and licorice. Wonderful herb for respiratory system. Okay, that's really pushed down. And then what you do, voila, take the cup off, and there you have a foot fizzy. It will take a couple of hours to get really hard, but you might want to decorate it. You could put it in a cupcake case and use one of these bags, seal it up. And then you get your bowl of water, as warm as you can take it, hot as you can take it, put that in, and for dramatic effect it's going to fizz. And then if you've got, say, a situation where you might want to add a herb tea, so if you've got athlete's foot or you've got cold feet or something like that, but if not, you just use this and pamper yourself and just drop it into the water, and it'll fizz away. Hope you enjoy making them.